Hello, my name is Joseph Bale. Today, I want to share with you guys a story about how I was introduced to here at Trade Routes. When I was working at my job at Maverick, one of your regulars came up to me and invited me to play Commander, and I said sure. And then I arrived at Commander to meet him. Needless to say, we sat down, I paid my fee for the RSVP, and I got myself a Diet Dr. Pepper. And then I proceeded to get my butt handed to me in Commander. It was a lot of fun. I honestly had a blast. On my way out, I sat in my car and I looked at my phone and I began to play Pokemon Pocket, which is it's an app on your phone that allows you to play the Pokemon trading card game for free. I saw that in the game that you could rent decks for free and play them to become more familiar with the game and to become better. And then I thought to myself, why don't other local game stores apply this to themselves? And so I decided to base my final presentation on this idea for you guys. So my idea is the rental deck. It's very simple. It's a proxy deck rental system, and it's designed to help new players and casual players enjoy trading card games without the upfront costs while also benefiting the store. This program lets players borrow decks made from proxies for unsanctioned store events. Our goal, at least my goal is to make games more accessible, increase foot traffic, and boost sales specifically for singles and popular decks here at the store. By doing this, we can create a more welcoming environment for players of all skill levels. Now, here's the problem. Many new players hesitate to start because decks are expensive. And it's just true. I mean, not a lot of people are willing to blow $100 on a Magic deck here at the store. Maybe even $40, but not $100. Competitive formats change really fast, and staying competitive can cost hundreds of dollars. Casual players may feel intimidated and never return, and essentially we are losing potential customers before they even buy anything. Just full stop. And so here is my proposed solution. My solution is we have a library of decks made of clearly non-official proxy cards. Players rent them to participate in casual store-run events, and decks cover beginner, intermediate, and advanced skill levels across all formats. Now, this will lower the barrier of entry and get people playing right away. Now, you're probably asking, how does it work? So this is how it works. We create a library of 10 to 50 proxy decks organized by archetype and skill level. There is an endless supply of Magic the Gathering proxy decks that we can create, so this will not be that difficult. Now, a player selects a deck, pays a small fee, or fee with entry, like with your RSVP system that you have here at Trade Routes, and they just play in the event. As simple as that. And the maintenance is pretty simple. Decks return at the end of an unsanctioned event, and the staff will work to maintain and print proxies as needed. For an example, imagine a new Magic Gathering player walks in for a Commander night, and instead of buying a $300 deck that they might use once and never play the game again, they could rent one for $5 and join the game immediately. Now, that is simplicity and accessibility personified. So this is why it works. New players can join immediately without financial barriers. More players equals more lively events. And the players to buy often buy real cards after testing decks. I know I would do this. If I played a really fun deck right after Commander, I would be more convinced to buy it for myself so that I can play it every time without having to pay money up front. Now, with this system, people often stay longer and become regulars. Like I said, this would apply to me. And now, here's the fun thing. The startup cost is so low. It's about $150 to $300, depending on how far you want to go with this or how far you want to test it, for sleeves, printouts, and boxes included. Now, you're probably wondering the legality in all of this, and you probably have some answers in mind for all that. Now here, let me just address those concerns. This program is only for unsanctioned events. I cannot express how much that is. I cannot express how important that is. It has to be fully compliant with the publisher rules. Proxies are clearly non-official and sleeves and distinct from real cards. An easy way that you can do this, just print your logo of Trade Routes on the cards to notify that they are yours. And with this, we're officially following the casual play guidelines from MTG, Pokemon, Flesh and Blood, One Piece, etc. All the Pokemon, all the card games, essentially. And we just have to ensure that players can enjoy the deck safely and legally. Now, let's talk about pricing and revenue models. The first option is free with every with event entry encourages participation. Heck, you could even include that on the Trade Routes RSVP deal that you guys have. You can pay $5 for a booster pack, or you can rent a deck. As simple as that. And you can just forego the candy or the soda. The option 2 is just a simple rent fee, $5 or $10 per deck. Option 3 is a rent-to-own system. Rental cost applies towards the real deck purchase. This is my favorite option, by the way. If I were to come in and play the same deck over and over again because I enjoy it, and that cost applies to the actual purchase of the deck that I will most likely buy later on, this would be my favorite store, hands down. And any model allows us to recover the initial investment quickly while boosting attendance and sales. Now, obviously there are some risks to this, and I have some solutions. The first risk that I can come up with is that players confuse proxies with real cards. Solution, just like I said before, print the store logo on it. Nobody will be confused. The second risk is deck damage or loss. The solution, have an ID system in place or a refundable deposit. Just enforce that and make sure that nobody runs off with any of the deck cards. It's very easy. And if they do, it's really cheap to print them. And the third risk is policy issues. The solution is only unsanctioned casual events, like I said before. Now, here are the expected results. I anticipate a 20 to 50% increase in casual turnout. The sales of singles and sealed products would increase significantly. Players would become loyal regulars, strengthening your community and honestly consumerism. And the system keeps the store lively and inviting for everyone new or experienced. Now, conclusion, it's very cheap to start with a very big payoff. We could even implement a 30-day pilot program. And lastly, any questions?